Hello everyone. Today I will teach you the class Phaeophyceae. As I told you, algae is divided into the different classes: Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae. In the previous lesson, we have already discussed about the characters of Chlorophyceae. Today, let us start the second one, that is Phaeophyceae. Phaeophyceae, I have written here the characteristics of this class, and I hope you will also write all these characteristics in your rough or fair notebooks. So later on you can revise these contents. Phaeophyceae, as you know, the members of Phaeophyceae, they are also known as brown algae. I will tell you so many pigments they are present in the members of the Phaeophyceae, brown algae, but especially, or you can say the majority of the members, they appear brown into the different shade of the brown, and that brown color is due to the presence of fucoxanthin. So fucoxanthin is the main pigment. That's why they look brown, and the members of this class, they are also known as brown algae. Regarding their habitat, where the members of brown algae they are found mainly or mostly, you can say, into the marine, into sea, or into the marine habitat. The body ranges from, now about their body, or you can say thallus organization. The body ranges from simple branched filamentous form up to the profusely forms called kelps. It's very, very important. The brown algae, they are very massive also. Some of the brown algae, they are filamentous. They are visible, or you can say they can be seen with the help of microscope. But some of the brown algae, they can be observed by our naked eye also. And still some of the algae, they are very massive. They are also known as the massive brown algae. They are known as kelps. Kelp means a very, you can say the huge or very profuse or very massive brown algae, they are also known as kelp. And the kelp, the height of the kelp, or you can say the length of the kelp, has been found, it is spread in the water, and the size is nearly, some of the kelp, their size is nearly 100 meter in length. 100 meter is too much. 100 meter in length, like Macrocystis. Macrocystis is a brown algae, and the size of the thallus is nearly 100 meter in length. One more kelp I am giving you the example, not given in the NCERT, that is about Neurocystis, and the size of the Neurocystis is nearly 20 to 30 meter in size. So the brown algae, the body ranges from filamentous form up to the very profuse structure, or you can say the massive form. This massive form is also known as kelp. For example, as I told you, neurospora, and macrocystis, etc. Their length is nearly 100 meter. They contain the photosynthetic pigments, and these are chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, carotenoids, xanthophyll, and fucoxanthin. So many pigments they are present in the chloroplast inside the cell of the members. All these pigments they are found into the membranous bound cell organelles, that is called plastids, or you can say the chloroplast. And these pigments are chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, carotenoids, xanthophylls, and fucoxanthin. The color of the brown algae ranges from some of the brown algae they appear olive green in color up to the different shades of the brown color, but maximum members of the brown algae, or you can say the Phaeophyceae, they appear brown because of the presence of dominant pigment, that is fucoxanthin. Not only the fucoxanthin is present, but in addition to the fucoxanthin, the main pigment, other pigments are also present: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, carotenoids, xanthophyll. These pigments are also present. If the plant color is green, you can't say only the green pigments they are present. Maybe some other pigments are also, which are responsible for some different colors. But if the plant looks green in color, the main pigment definitely will be the chlorophyll. If the brown algae appears brown in color, other pigments are also present. Chlorophyll, as you know, responsible for the appearance of green color. But in the members of the brown algae, the main pigment is fucoxanthin. The dominating color, the dominating pigment is fucoxanthin. That's why the majority of the brown algae, they look brown in color. So fucoxanthin is very important pigment, and especially their percentage is too much more, you can say, in the case of all the members of brown algae. Now regarding the reserve food material. The reserve food material is in the form of laminarine and mannitol. Just you have to learn about the reserve food material of the different classes. Like in the case of Chlorophyceae, I told you the reserve food material is oil, but here the reserve food material is present in the form of laminarine and mannitol. Now the next one is the vegetative cell has cellulose, which is also covered on the outside by a gelatinous coating, and that is called algine. As you know, each plant or animal has two phases, and these are vegetative phase and reproductive phase. The vegetative phase includes all the parts like stem, root, leaf. Here in algae also, before the gamete formation, all the structures, they are the vegetative part. Means the vegetative cells, their cell wall is made up of cellulose. Not only the cellulose as well as pectin. And the cell wall is, again, there is one more additional coating, and that coating is made up of algine. it's very, very important in all the members of the brown algae. The cell wall is mainly made up of cellulose, but that cell wall is again covered or coated by one more layer, and that is made up of algine. As you know, algine is a compound. It has water holding capacity. It is hydrochlorides in nature. It retains the water. So here algine is found in the cell wall and not in the reproductive cell, in the vegetative cell only. So the vegetative cell has the cell wall made up of cellulose, and that cell wall is again covered by one more layer which is made up of a gelatinous substance, and that is called algine. Now the plant body is usually attached to the substratum by the holdfast. I have written here about the plant body. The plant body is usually attached to the substratum by the holdfast and has a stalk called stipe and leaf-like frond for the process of photosynthesis. You can see here the diagram. These are the brown algae. This one is the holdfast. Holdfast. This stalk-like structure is stipe, and this lamina or the leaf-like structure is called frond. This is actually the diagram of laminaria. Laminaria. It is a member of brown algae, and this one is for fucus. This is the massive, or you can say a well-developed body structure in which the body is divided into how many parts? Holdfast, stipe and frond. The holdfast, what is the function of the holdfast? Holdfast helps to attach the body to the base, to the substratum. As I told you, the brown algae, they are found into the marine habitat, maybe in the sea source also. So the holdfast helps to attach the whole body to the surface of the sea, or you can say to the substratum. Then this is the main part, frond, which looks leaf-like in structure. The frond and holdfast both are well connected with a stalk-like structure, and this stalk-like structure is called stipe, and this leaf-like structure is called frond. The frond, it looks leaf-like in structure. The frond contains so many photosynthetic pigments. As I told you, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, other pigments are also present, and frond helps in the process of photosynthesis. So frond is the leaf-like structure of the members of the brown algae, which is responsible for the process of photosynthesis. So how many parts are there? Total 3 parts are there of the brown algae: holdfast, stipe and frond. Now, the next one is about the reproduction. How the members of brown algae they reproduce. The reproduction takes place by the following method: vegetative reproduction, and vegetative reproduction takes place by the process of fragmentation. As you know, the fragmentation is the process in which the body is broken down into many segments, into many pieces, and later on each segment, each piece can produce the new body, new thallus. The second one, the asexual reproduction takes place by biflagellated zoospores. Please see here the structure of the zoospore. This is the zoospore. The biflagellated zoospore means how many flagella are there? These are the flagella. Flagella. This is biflagellated zoospore. And you know, zoospore is the motile spore. If the spore has the flagella, the spore is said to be what? Zoospore. Here I have written biflagellated zoospore means in this zoospore how many flagella are there? 2 flagella are there, and that's why the zoospore is said to be what? Biflagellated. So this is the diagram of biflagellated zoospore, and you can see here these 2 flagella, they are not located on the anterior side, not like this. This is also zoospore, like in the Chlamydomonas. Both or in the case of Ulothrix, the zoospores, the flagella, both they are unequal in size, and both the flagella they are present on the anterior side, like in the case of Ulothrix and Spirogyra. Ulothrix and Chlamydomonas. I have already discussed in class Chlorophyceae, but here in all the members of Phaeophyceae, the zoospores are biflagellated, but flagella they are not located on the anterior side. Both the flagella they are present laterally on the lateral side. You can see these 2 flagella where they are located on the anterior side above, but here, not on the anterior side. These 2 flagella they are located laterally, and also both the flagella they are not unequal in size. One is larger in size while another one is shorter in size. So asexual reproduction takes place by biflagellated zoospore. The zoospore has 2 flagella which are unequal in size. One is longer, one is shorter, and both the flagella they are located on the lateral side. And the shape of the zoospore is also pear-shaped. It is also known as pyriform. This pear-shaped structure is also known as pyriform. Now, the sexual reproduction. The sexual reproduction takes place by isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous type. Means it ranges from isogamous up to the oogamous, just like the members of the Chlorophyceae. In isogamous mode of sexual reproduction, both the gametes, male and female gametes, both they are identical and flagellated. In the gametes also, the flagella they are located like the zoospore on the lateral side. Both they are unequal in size also, and they look pear in shaped or in pyriform shaped. In an isogamous type of sexual reproduction, both the gametes, they are non-identical, but both they are flagellated. And in oogamous type, one is flagellated and one is non-flagellated. The non-flagellated is bigger in size. It is said to be female gamete, and the smaller one is called male gamete. I think already in the general characteristics of algae, I have explained all these types: isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. Still, if any child is having any problem regarding isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous or any other topic, please you can write to me in the comment box and I will reply you. But here I hope so many times I have explained regarding isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. The gametes are also pear-shaped and bear two lateral flagella. So these all are the characteristics of the members of Phaeophyceae or brown algae. I request you all to make the proper notes. Write down all these points which I discussed today. If you will not prepare the notes, it will be useless for me also, and for you also. You will not grasp anything. So while I am sending you to the videos on the same day, or just you manage your time and try to make notes from starting, that will be very, very useful for you. As per economic importance is there regarding the Phaeophyceae. As you know, mainly the members of Phaeophyceae, they are useful, they are used as a food materials. They are used as a food, like so many algae, they are used like Laminaria, Macrocystics, Alaria. These are the brown algae and they are useful. They are used as a food. Some of the brown algae like Laminaria, Macrocystic, they are used as a fodder in cattle. So they are used as a food, as well as some of the brown algae, they are used as a fodder also for the cattle. Some of the members of the brown algae, they are useful to provide us the product that is algine. As you know, algine has the commercial utilization. Algine is used into the industries for making the toothpaste, ice cream. It acts as the emulsifier agent, and the algine is used into the different industries, which is very, very useful for the human being. So that's all for today. Tomorrow I will teach you the next class, that is Rhodophyceae. Before I close this lesson, I found a comment from a child. The question was very good. He was asking, sir, the vegetative reproduction and asexual reproduction both are same. Can you differentiate in between vegetative and asexual? In both of the cases, as per child opinion, in both of the cases, like in vegetative reproduction and in asexual reproduction, the gametes are not produced, the gametes are not fused together, the process of fertilization doesn't take place. The question was really good. Let me to define, because again and again I am using the term vegetative reproduction, asexual and sexual. Actually, in vegetative reproduction, the special spores are not produced generally, like zoospores, aplanospores, hypnospore, chlamydospores. The spores, they are not produced into the vegetative mode of reproduction. Simply, the vegetative part of the plant is going to be broken down into the many segments. Like in the case of fragmentation, suppose this is the body and the body is going to be broken down into the segments. Here, no special spore-like structure is produced, and it's a very simple mode of reproduction, vegetative, in which simply the body is broken down into the pieces, and the segment or a particular piece can produce the new organism. But in asexual mode of reproduction, the special spores are produced into the body, whether it may be the zoospores, motile spore, or maybe a planospore, or maybe hypnospore, or maybe a kinete. Different kinds of spores are found into the case of algae. These spores are produced. So overall, in vegetative mode of reproduction, the special spores are not produced. Simply body is going to be divided into the many segments. But here in the case of asexual method of reproduction, the special spores are produced. This is the difference in between the vegetative and asexual. And what is the similarities in both? In both of the cases, how the vegetative and asexual mode of reproduction is different from the sexual mode of reproduction. In both of the cases, in vegetative and asexual, the special spores are not produced. The gametes are not produced. The male and female gametes are not produced. The male and female gametes, they do not fertilize, they do not fuse together, no zygote is formed, no male and female organism is required. And in this regard, the vegetative and asexual, both they are different from the sexual mode of reproduction. Now, please note down 3 to 4 questions from the topics which I taught today. Question number 1, write down. Write the habitat of brown algae. Write the habitat of brown algae. Question number 2, write the main pigment. Write the main pigment present in the members of brown algae. Write the main pigment present in the member of brown algae. Question number 3, write the functions of hold fast. Write the functions of hold fast and frond. Next question. Write the economic importance of brown algae. Write the economic importance of brown algae. And the last question is, write any 5 characters. Write any 5 characters of brown algae. Write any 5 characters of brown algae. So that's all for today. Now I will see you tomorrow. Thanks.